So guys, a quick video today. I wanted to talk about what is my personal opinion on what are the 4 flankers that are left to be added. I believe that we only have 4 flankers to be added, and if we see more, it will be for other nations, but for the Russians, it might be the 4 vehicles that I think will come. So let's get to it. I don't want to lose too much time, and of course, remember guys, I'm trying to keep it up, the content going a little bit. There isn't that many stuff to talk about that it's new, of course. The channel focus more on that. Just have that in mind, okay? But yeah, we don't have any leaks. We don't have any dev blogs, nothing. We need to wait, so just bear that in mind, okay? So the first one would be the SU-30SM2. We just got the SU-30SM, so I don't think this aircraft will come too soon, but the SU-30SM2 will probably be the next aircraft that we will see in that tech tree, or something similar to that we're going to talk about. Why is that? Because these aircraft would fix the main problem that the SM has, which is thrust to weight. The SM is one of the best aircraft in the game, it has one of the best radars in the game, but it suffers from one thing: having a very heavy aircraft with not that much power. It basically uses the thrust vectoring version of the original SU-27 engine, so it's not the greatest engine ever, you know, it's a very old design, so it doesn't produce a lot of power. But of course, with the SM2, we have that fix it. Of course, this would be the main thing, but obviously, we have the Irbis radar on this. That would be even better than the PESA that we currently have with the bars, right? And of course, other things include, of course, new weapon systems and other things. Because of the new radar, it can actually carry, for example, the newer versions of long-range missiles that the Russians have. For example, the R-37, right? So stuff like that, you know, would be used on these aircraft if they want to, okay? But the main thing, of course, is the new radar and the new engine. Both of them that come from the SU-35, which is pretty cool. The second thing, the second flanker, would be the SU-27SM3. In the same way that the SM2 of the SU-30 has an upgraded engine and radar and everything, it would be kind of similar to the SU-27SM3. We kind of already have one of the upgrades on the SM that the SM3 had, which is the engine. So the SM3 also used this engine that we already have in the SU-27SM, okay? But of course, some other upgrades would be there. The addition of basically becoming this aircraft, making this aircraft to properly be a 4+ generation jet, adding, for example, the technology from the SU-35. It includes, you know, in theory, because this is not really confirmed yet, I would imagine it is true, but I couldn't like 100% for sure know. But it would include the Irbis radar as well, or the bars, something along those lines. So we would have upgraded avionics and stuff, but the major thing is that it would be the SM that we have right now with a way better radar. A way better radar, because the SM really lacks the radar, let's be honest, right? Of course, it would include better missiles, all sorts of upgrades to other things as well, but that would be the idea, right? An SU-27SM that would have a really good radar. And then we have to talk about the last flanker to be produced, the ultimate flanker, initially called the SU-27M, but later renamed the SU-35. This is the aircraft that I think everybody that is a Russian main and love flankers is wanting to have in the game when the time comes. Of course, the time is not now, but this aircraft would be the ultimate flanker, being the lightest one, and although it doesn't have the canards with the thrust vectoring engines, it would be the one that would probably be the most maneuverable, just because it is the lightest compared to the SU-30SM, right? You would have the upgraded engines, upgraded radar, everything is digital, everything is modernized on this aircraft, and it would be one of the most modern 4th generation jets that we would have in the game. The weapon systems, everything would be very similar to the aircraft that we already have in the game, like the SU-30SM, so R-77-1s, R-27s, R-73s, of course, obviously, when the time comes, the R-74s and the R-37s. And of course, all sorts of air-to-ground capability, basically the same as the SU-30SM, but even better with some cruise missiles and stuff. Of course, remember, he would have the Irbis radar, PESA, and of course, you would have the L-175, which is one of the best RWRs they have right now, and the OLS-35 IRST, a very modernized IRST as well. So it's a very, very good aircraft. Of course, think about an SU-30SM with being lighter, having way more power, having a way better radar, and having better missiles. That's the idea here. So it's the ultimate 4+ generation jet that the Russians have, and it will probably be the last fourth generation jet that they will receive up to the SU-57 when the time comes to the game. And don't you worry, we will probably see those as well, okay? So everything on these aircraft would be pretty good, on par with the most modern 4th generation jets in the world as well. Very cool aircraft, and yeah. And continuing with the flow, the SU-34M, guys. The SU-34M is basically the same type of upgrade that we already talked about with the other ones, right? It would be an upgraded model of the SU-34, and according to sources, this aircraft is very new to being produced, right? So it's difficult to say, you know, how many they have and everything. I mean, they say it's around, you know, basically, I mean, I cannot know for sure, but there is on the very least like one batch of modernized SU-34s. So I would count at least like 10, 20 maybe of these aircraft being modernized, maybe more. We don't know yet. So it's difficult to know because it's a very modern thing. It's a very late design of the aircraft. But think about the same upgrades that we talked about before would be the same for the SU-34M, okay? The idea here is to upgrade the aircraft to be you know, as modern as possible. So the idea is that you would use better reconnaissance, surveillance, intelligence, ACM stuff, of course, electronic stuff, but also it would feature IRST, which is pretty good, a new rear-facing radar in theory. We don't know that for sure, but they would finally get a rear-facing radar onto this aircraft. It would be some version of the Copio radar. Again, not confirmed, but that would be the idea, at least what they want to do. And of course, it would have the Pika M radar, which is a much better radar than the V004. It would be having a lot more range, 300 kilometers, you know, so it would be basically the most modernized air-to-ground radar that they would have on their service, right? And of course it would carry the most modern stuff, modernized stuff on the air-to-ground as well. I mean, you can imagine, you know, the most modern stuff even for air-to-air. So it would be just a modernized one with better radars, better, you know, a little bit performance, better overall avionics and stuff, and better weapons of the SU-34, okay? But basically this is it, guys. These are the 4 ones that I think will probably come at a certain point. We have other ones, like for example the SU-30M2, which is a tuned down version of the SU-30, right, without thrust factory and stuff, but I honestly don't think it's coming unless it's, you know, an event or a premium or something in the far future, right? So for now, that would be the 4 flankers that I think are left to be added. If I missed anything, let me know in the comments. I see you guys in the next one. Make sure to subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment, and bye.